Hi, it's me, RachaelLyn, and today's Financial Friday is setting up my December budget. Alright, it is December. Well, at least tomorrow is December. And it is time to set up the December budget. So I have put together a nice clean budget. I did go ahead and put in one note. Of course, that is gifts, and it is Christmas this month, so don't forget about that. And then I also have 2 birthdays, at least 2 of my very, very good friends. One has a birthday on the 18th, and another has a birthday on the 26th. There are some changes for this month now that I am out of student loan default and out of the rehabilitation program. So I am actually able to apply money straight towards the actual debt that I have. Now I am kind of waiting to pay off one of my student loans completely. I plan on doing it sometime during this month, but I haven't done it yet as of the recording of this video, so I'm just kind of putting things in as I see fit. The first thing I have changed already, and well, really the only thing other than adding my notes, is that I have $535.91 budgeted for paying student loans. I will not be putting anything extra into that account. I was paying like $574 towards my student loans for automatic payments while my loans were in rehabilitation, and I was putting $600 a month into that account just as kind of like a small little buffer, along with having some extra money in there. This amount is changing. Those 3 totals come from $131 going towards my $10,000 loan, $129.91 is going towards my $50,000 loan, and then $275 is going towards my $100,000 loan. $200 of that is coming from me as part of my rent, because that's what I pay for rent each month, and I'm just paying my student loans in lieu of my parents, because it's really them paying for it, and so I just kind of pay it as my rent. The payments I had been making while in rehabilitation were actually $215. I just kind of covered the $15. It wasn't that big of a deal to me, so I didn't worry about it, but the extra payment is actually $75 more, and my dad is actually going to be giving me $75 so that I can make that full payment. It's actually a payment of $273 and some change, but I'm going to round up, just pay $275 each month. This is a lowered payment. The payment was supposed to be over $600, but with my $200, that leaves almost $500 that my parents would have to put in each month to help cover that payment. That is not something that they are able to do right now, with my mom being very sick and having to go to multiple hospitals, and my dad also does not fully reach retirement age until next year, even though he retired close to 2 years ago already. So there's a lot of extra retirement benefits from past jobs, and then of course retirement benefits through the government that he does not get until next year. So a lot of different things are going into why I'm only paying $275 a month, but this is what we have worked out, and so this is kind of what we're doing, at least for right now. This is why a budget is a fluid thing. It changes all the time as your needs change, and right now our needs are to take care of my mom and to kind of wait until my dad has more money coming in. So that being said, let's go on to the next item. I have savings here for paying off student loans. That I feel confused about where things should go and all of that. So I kind of feel like, I don't know. I kind of feel like it should just kind of stay the same. Things will look very, very different come January, because I will have more money taken out of my check because my insurance rates are going up. I've also added vision insurance, and so I might be making a lot less. I haven't done the math and calculated how much less I will be making per paycheck, but I'm not excited about it at all. So then that will also affect the rest of my budget. But going through here, I would say I'm going to leave that at $800 right now and go look at everything else. My sinking funds, I'm going to go down and check those out. Now, this is not my final total for beginning December because I have not closed out my November budget yet. I know that I will be putting more money in my sinking funds. I'm going to try to pad those up just a little bit. And so I don't know how much is actually going to go to them yet, and I won't know that until I close out November. But generally, this is what I will be starting at least with. So what do I want to put in this month, December? Progressive is going to stay the same. I know that for sure. The $50 for gifts, that was what I was saving last year, and December's gifts will actually start next year's savings, and I am really going to try very hard to keep my gift spending way down this year. If I can keep it down this year, then I'm hoping that I can keep it way down next year and every other year until I am out of debt. So what I'm going to do is actually lower this to $35 just to start out next year's savings. $35, that puts me just over $400 for next year's Christmas spending. If I feel like that's not enough after I do all my Christmas shopping this year, and I feel like I needed that full $500 that I have saved for this year, or wish that I had more, then I can always up that amount as far as up to $50, because that's what I had last year and it worked really well for an amount to save for. If I feel like I can get away with doing even less than $400 even just this year, and I feel like I could do the same next year, then I can always lower that amount. But right now I'm going to start at $35. My Amazon Prime will stay the same because by the time it comes around and it's due to be paid, I will have exactly what I need. My dues and racing license, I am really just going to keep it at $100 right now and not really worry about it. I pay about $60 to $65 every 3 months, and once a year I pay $50. So I think just having $100 in there is a good amount, because when it comes time to pay them, then that more than covers my dues. And when it comes time to getting my racing license, if I had to pay them at the same time, which I think it's close to the same month or so around there, but if I had to pay them around the same time, I mean, I would only be over that month and have to put in a little bit more so then I can cash flow it. So I was keeping this at like $300, and you can see the total amount when it's full is $300, and I'm actually going to lower it to $100, and I think that is going to be more than enough that I will need, and it's just there and I don't have to worry about it. This is one of those things that I could probably very easily cash flow because it's $60 in 1 month. I can pull that money from somewhere, but I just feel personally safer knowing, like, okay, that's saved up, and if I was having a really hard month, then I know that I have the money to cover my dues. And if I don't have the money to cover my dues, I don't get to work at Churchill Downs or Keeneland, so I have to pay that. Lucy, I'm also going to lower from 200 down to 100. I would rather have $200 saved up just in case there was ever an emergency that she needed, and I know that $100 would way more than cover all of her shots and checkups and everything that she needs, but I don't really feel like I need $200 because I can use my emergency fund instead of saved up just for her. Lowering all of these sinking funds is actually kind of really important in order to save as much money as possible to paying off my debt. Now that I am actually paying down my debt starting this month, like, I really want to trim all of the extras as much as I possibly can. My car repair and replacement, that is going to stay at about $5,000 to be full, but really, probably if I get it all the way up to like $2,000 or $3,000, I think that I would be able to purchase a pretty decent car if it came down to that. So for right now, I'm just going to leave it at $5,000, and I'm going to keep saving $75 a month. This also covers my oil changes every few months, and it covers just about anything else that I would need maintenance wise or repair wise on my car. So I like the $75, and I'm going to keep it keep it where it is. Okay, I do need to go back up here to Lucy. I need to add $25 to fill that up for December. She is due for her shots either the end of December or beginning of January. I can't remember which. So very soon I will be emptying that out, and I will need to put more money towards it. But $100 a year, that's not bad. Going on down to clothing, this is a budgeted item that I do feel like I need a good amount at least once a year just to replace things that I need. I feel like $500 is a lot for having a fully funded amount, but if I only put in $25 a month, that's only $300 a year. So I think I'm going to leave the fully funded amount at $500 and then keep $25 a month. $300 seems pretty reasonable to replace, clothes and things like that, especially the beginning of the school year, or the beginning of winter when I realize like all of my sweaters are ruined for some reason. I don't know. I mean, as far as I know, my sweaters are fine, but just, I don't know. I just feel safer knowing that I have some money put away for clothing just in case there's something that I need. So $25 a month is $300 a year. If I don't spend it, then I'll have $500 and quit saving after that. My medical fund, I have it capped out at $500, but I think I'm going to keep the $25 a month, just keep it as it is. I currently have a prescription eye drops that I have to use. I also have to purchase contacts at least once a year. I think I can keep my glasses. I don't have to replace those, but my insurance might not cover completely my contacts. So I get vision insurance starting in January, and I'll have to wait and see how that works, and just kind of reevaluate every so often like how much I'm putting towards medical. But for right now, I'm just going to keep it at $25 a month. This would also cover things like if I got a cold or I needed, some medicine, or even allergies and things like that. Just over-the-counter medicines, Band-Aids, I don't know. Like any of those things could be covered under medical, and so I'm going to keep that there. And then my laptop fund is $25 right now. It caps out at $1,000. That's like if I wanted to buy a Mac. If my computer lasts that long for me to save that much, then I will do that. But if it doesn't last that long, then I will get a new computer when the time comes. You might even hear the fan running on this computer. It can be really loud. It's actually being nice and quiet right now, but every once in a while you might hear it get really loud. So if you hear a loud whirring sound, it's the fan from my computer because it works so hard. That is why I am saving to replace my computer, because this computer is 5 years old, actually a little over 5 years old, so I don't know how much longer it's going to last. I am just going to keep it at $25. Included in this laptop fund is also a camera replacement fund, an external hard drive fund. Like all of those things are wrapped up into this one fund. So I do feel like I need to keep it where it is. Family time is one that, like, I really don't think that I will have a cap on that right now. It's just $1,000, but this is a wide variety of things that may or may not come up with spending time with my family. I think I mentioned earlier, my mom is very sick, and there is a lot of unsure things that are happening right now, and if something comes up and something like travel is involved, for instance, my parents are actually going to a couple of different hospitals in a couple of different cities soon, trying to see what kind of information they can get from there, and it might involve me traveling to go and see her if that works out. This could be also, for example, I used a little bit of money about a month ago or so when my mom got out of the hospital. She'd been in the hospital for 3 weeks. She got out, my parents went to dinner, and my dad said, "I'm not paying for you." And so I didn't want to miss out on that time with my mom, and I think this was at the end of October, and my restaurant budget was capped out. And so instead of using my restaurant budget, I used my family time budget, because it was very important to me to be with my family at that time, to celebrate my mom being free from the hospital. So I think I'm just going to keep it at $25. Alright, so I spent a very long time talking through my sinking funds. It was something that I felt like I needed to reevaluate and go back over for the whole month, and going forward, just to try to trim some things back. I feel like I didn't really do a whole lot. I trimmed a couple of things, but then, you know, I just kind of convinced myself to keep things the way they are. That being said, I'm actually spending a little bit more in my sinking funds just to fill one of them back up for this coming month. So what I'm looking for is for this number right here to be zero. Right now I am $14.09 over. I have $2,299.48 as my monthly income. This is only from my paycheck from teaching. Any other side hustles, any other money that I get, all of that money goes towards debt. A little bit might go to padding up sinking funds a little bit more, but it all goes to one of those two places. I need to figure out some other things with my budget. HP Instant Ink. I'd like to lower this, but I'm going to wait at least one more month, just because December is a big month for all kinds of projects and things like that, and so I am going to wait at least until halfway through the month to lower this amount, to lower my plan a little bit, because I am not using the 500 pages a month that I am allotted for HP Instant Ink, so it is definitely kind of going to waste, but I'm going to wait and see how December goes, and then after that I know that I will not need this big plan going forward. So this is something that I will lower. It just won't happen in December. Verizon is not really something that I can lower. That is just my cell phone bill. It is lowered as much as possible. Netflix, I hate to tell you this, but I'm actually considering canceling Netflix. I'm not going to do it this month. I will have way too much time on my hands being off for a couple of weeks in December for the holiday break, but I mean, I cannot believe it, but I'm actually considering canceling Netflix. Like, I don't know if I'm going to, but I'm thinking about it. Seriously. Gas, $75. I feel like that's fair. I might even be able to stay under this month, just because there will be at least a week or two in December that I will not be driving very much, since it is the Christmas break. Groceries is one that I actually ended up upping last month, just because I am purchasing snacks for kindergarten. I feel like I might be able to lower this back down. I have a lot of groceries that I purchased last month for myself for lunches, and I've been taking leftovers pretty regularly, so those lunches that I have at school have been lasting me for quite a while and are still there. I think that I do need a bigger grocery budget, but then I don't know. Okay. Especially with December, just because there's a lot of extra stuff that happens in December in the schools. Especially being in a Christian school, and there's a lot of Christmas celebrating going on, and there might be special snacks, there might be other special things. We like to do gingerbread houses, and I might have to purchase some stuff for that. A lot of the kids bring most of that in, but I might have to buy some of it, so I am lowering it down to 100. My teaching budget. That's one I actually feel like I might be able to lower it just a little bit more, but not in December. I'm going to be purchasing some kind of gift for my kids. It'll probably be a Scholastic book or something like that, but I will be spending a little bit of extra money. So I think looking forward to January, I might even be able to lower my teaching budget, which is huge for me because last year my budget was like $200, and then when I got on the Dave Ramsey plan and trying to save money for my debt, it was $150, and now it's $100, and I am saying that I probably can easily lower that even more. So I am so super proud of myself. But I am going to keep it higher at $100 for the month of December, just because of student gifts and things like that I might need to purchase. Because gifts for students, that's going to go under teaching. Gifts for coworkers and things like that is going to go under my gift budget. So I know it might be a little bit confusing, but I feel like that's the proper way to organize it, especially when it comes to tax time. So anyway, that's the way I'm going to do it. Restaurants, I'm going to keep it $50. Spending, that needs to be lowered back down to $85. I had raised it for my birthday. And now, how am I over $54? I thought I was over $54, but I'm under $54. That is wonderful news. I can actually probably put $50 up here, $850, and now $409, and then I can always add another $409. So let me add another 9 cents here, and I'm also going to bring this down to $362 and add another $5. I don't know. I'm going to add it to my laptop fund. Just in case you're not sure, the extra change section, that is just because I like round numbers, and it has to end in a 5 or a 0, or else it just messes with my head. So that's where I have my extra change. It's just kind of like the catch-all. When my extra change in the actual fund starts filling up, then I'm able to allocate it in other places, and it just makes me feel better, and I love it. Alright, looking at my budget, I think I am ready to go. Like I said earlier, my sinking funds, at least where I'm starting at the beginning of December, is not set in stone. Everything else, it can still be changed even as the month goes on. I don't mind that at all. That is why I consider a budget to be very fluid, and I just have to know that, you know, moving the money around, that's okay. It's not a big deal if that has to be done. And that often happens, and it's not always done on camera. But I do like to set it up with you and let you know what my thought process is, let you know what I'm thinking about while I create my budget. So that is it for today. Go ahead and give me a like. Leave a comment down below. Let me know if you have your budget set up. What are some things that you're thinking of this month? Don't forget about Christmas. And if you have any plans for New Year's, you might want to budget that in too. I don't have any plans. If I do anything, I might go to a friend's house and watch the ball drop on TV, and that's probably about it. I don't really do much for New Year's, so that might be something that you might want to budget for. So let me know in the comments below what you're budgeting for different this month, and also don't forget to subscribe if you are not already, and watch me pay down my student loan debt. That's it for today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.